It is Friday, June 20th, and I am gearing up to begin the process of my next card, my next quarterly card that is going to be scheduled for late August, back to school time, all that kind of stuff. So now begins the process of planning for that next card. I've kind of taken the last couple weeks of break, getting all my packets together to send out to my advertisers. I actually just got them out this past week, and they were supposed to get them last Friday. They ended up getting them sometime this week. One guy, I asked if he got it, and he said, "Oh man, I haven't even gotten any responses at all from the ad." Turns out I got his phone number wrong on the ad. He didn't catch it when I had sent him like the copies of the ad design that I had revised with the notes that he'd given me, because when he wrote the phone number down, I mistook 1 for a 7. And even though my original ad design that I sent him had a 1, the future ones I added in the secondary phone number, all this other stuff. I had thought that it was a 7 instead, and he never said anything after I sent him several revisions of the ad after that. He never caught that phone number error, so he was upset about all that. He's like, "This is why I didn't get a response," even though when I looked at the scan records, he only got a QR code scan one time out of the card. So it was actually the pawn shop guy, and he didn't. I mean, his pawn shop isn't even located anywhere near the distribution areas, so it's not surprising that he didn't get much response, sadly. But it does give him, reason to be upset, and I agree. It just goes to show I need to listen to Jake's advice and make sure that I have, as part of my process, a final email confirmation where they, in writing, sign off on approval of all the specs as they are. As it turns out, I told him I'll just add him. I'll make the correction, add him on the next card. I told him I'd print up some like standalone postcards to send his way. He's like, well, that's like worth nothing. That's like only worth like, 50, 60 bucks I'd get printed myself. I'm like, all right, fair enough. But I want to do something to make it right for you. I'm sorry this happened. And then I told him, like, listen, my next card's not going to be going out again for another couple months. It's going to be going to the same area. I don't know if you want to be on that area or do one like in the future where I'm closer to the area of your store. And he said, no, I want to try it again. And then I thought about that next night, and then the next morning I sent him an email. I'm like, you know what? I hadn't even thought of it because I was in such a rush to like try to like make things right. But do you want me to just like refund your money and we call it good and we go our separate ways, or like what would you prefer? And I said, no, man, you're a hard worker. I don't want to make you refund the money. Just I think we can find something to do that works for both of us to go forward. So go figure. That'll be, its own thing. Which, in hindsight, it would have been easier for me just to offer him to refund the money in the first place and not have a double ad spot taken up by somebody for free on the next one. But whatever. One less spot that I have to consider selling, but also a lot less money that I'll make. However, I did talk to him about, like, in the meantime, then, he doesn't have a website. Right now, like, his QR code just goes to his Google My Business page. So I told him that what I could do for the money that you paid for the ad, we can use that towards just building out a website for you. And then when the next ad comes around, then we can just like, I'll give you the discounted spot for that again, and see if that works for him. Because I told him, like, well, I also like you web design, I'd do that. He's like, oh, I might be interested in a website if the price is right. So I told him I could just use your payment from the ad spot to completely cover the website. See if he likes that idea. He hasn't responded since then. He has a lot going on. One of his kids was just graduating, another is getting married, I think, like this weekend. So he's going to be traveling and doing a bunch of stuff. But he's a nice enough guy, and I did make the mistake of changing the phone number after he had first seen it and not confirming that the phone number actually did match the Google profile page, has a 1 and not a 7 at the end. So I should have caught that in all my stuff, but lesson learned. Just have them sign off on it to, go with a fine-tooth comb over the ad, work up before I print and everything. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll take it from there. But now it's time to start filling up the rest of the card. I haven't really spoken to anybody else yet about receiving the packets with like the discounted pricing for a future one. So this coming week, I'll reach out and call everybody directly. That's something that I never really did in the past card, but it's something that I saw PS Guy on Mitch's podcast talk about in response to my question was, how did you get 80% of people refilling or re-upping with you? He said, I just call them. I just call them, talk to them, tell them what I'm doing, and just like, have that conversation, keep that dialogue going. And I admit I'm very bad at that kind of follow-up. After I send it out, I kind of get like expectations of response, and I get my own like in my head about things instead of just like, handing it out there. Hey, we're doing the next one. Are you ready for this? Da, da, da. And just treating it like that is what it is. So we'll see. So I'll start calling everybody this coming week on my breaks. I've been using my lunch breaks for so many different conversations. I've talked to a bunch of people in the 9x12 community. I've been networking with my BNI people. I've been working on, I joined my BNI's WhatsApp chat where I saw they had like a channel for like podcasts and like guests for podcasts. And I wrote on there that I wanted to do a local business podcast. And I was looking for somebody that can like be the host of it because I have all these advertisers that I'd love to get them some more content featuring their information, their stories, something like that I can tie into it. But I just don't have the time to make a new podcast myself with everything else that I'm doing constantly. So I put a post in there, and I had 2 people respond that they were interested in working with me on it. And I talked with one yesterday, really cool guy. He's like a mortgage lender and stuff. And so he's like, yeah, I could see it as being just a great networking opportunity. Not expecting to like, make any monetary stuff off of it. I told him I'm not expecting any monetary outcome from it either. It's more just a way to have conversations, offer value to people in the community, offer value to the businesses that I do the advertising for. And he said, I just want to talk to more local business owners myself because doing mortgages and stuff, it's a great way just to meet people and just kind of be in their circle. So this works really well. And I have another meeting with another person on Tuesday about the same topic. And I told him I'm going to be meeting with this other guy. And he said, okay, well, maybe we could do like a dual host kind of thing. We could just kind of do a rotation. Whatever works, add us to a group chat. We can all chat together about it. So this has been something that I've wanted to do for a long time. As far as like lead gen, it's a great way to introduce yourself, get people on podcasts. Then it can naturally lead into other things like the advertising stuff. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to go pick up some dinner, and then I'll cut this and I'll be back with pizza on the way home. All right, so I am going to be meeting with that other person next Tuesday and chatting with them. As always, I'm always distracted by so many shiny objects and things, but we'll see how that kind of works out, because I think that would be good for my advertisers. That it's great networking in general. In my BNI group, I also all my fellow members, they brought up again that they want to do a BNI card for our group to get out there featuring our real estate lawyer, our mortgage lender, our residential real estate person. So I have on my list to circle back with them. I need to just kind of start mocking up some design for that. I think my next thing that I'm going to have to start doing is outsourcing my design work, because it's not that it takes time, because I can do them pretty fast, but it takes mental energy. It takes focus to just plan it out and know which one I'm going to do, kind of work that out. So I'm going to be looking into probably hiring out the design on the next card or two. Some of them, my cold outreach that I'm doing to new business owners and stuff, where they're warm and I have a little bit more time to kind of work with them and get to know their business more on that level too. Kind of works for me, getting more familiar as I design the ads. But it does take kind of mental time from doing other things. In addition to my EDDM tools that I'm working on building, I just, don't have the bandwidth to be spending my time doing design, something that's easily outsourceable, because I'm in the process of building out like a lead scraping tool where you can just like kind of put in the name of the business or the name of the industry, your city, your zip code, and you just like get a list of like, 20 to 30 businesses of that industry in your local area. I have a similar tool called Leads Gorilla that I got for a lifetime deal, like probably 3 or 4 years ago. And that's what I've used for my own, making my own lists the past couple times. But it lacks certain things. Like one of the things it lacks is like business owner information. So I'm working with a couple different tools to kind of gather that information in an automated fashion, so that it kind of scrapes everything, puts it in a database of the contacts that you can then download and link into a CRM. That's probably going to be another thing I'm going to invest in for this next card. I'm going to get with Mitch and sign up for his 9x12 CRM. One, because I love software, I love building software, and I'd love to see like kind of how theirs works and all the things that it does, because it really is a great way to just cut down on the wasted time of like trying to maintain all these different things. Because I have several leads from my last sessions that I had my cold callers contact that told me they were interested in future cards. And right now I'll have to go back through like my text messages and my emails to like find these people and then recontact them. And I have my Go High Level account, but I'm not using it in the right way. And so just getting on the 9x12 CRM from Mitch, I think that's going to be a great shortcut too for me. So probably in the next couple weeks, I'll be enlisting, hiring a designer, hiring some more cold callers for this card. After I have conversations with my current advertisers, see who wants to be on for the next card, who wants to take advantage of the whole annual plan, because I gave some good discounts there for people to be on the next 4 cards and just like have it already done and out of the way. So then I have to see like what spots I have left after that. So I got a lot of things going on. So I want to build that lead scraping tool. I have another thing that I want trying to work on building. It's kind of being a pain in the butt. But automating my ads that I took, like my ad design, and then like I added like the kind of carousel of images below it to turn it into a video ad for reels and stuff. I thought it was going to be a bit more streamlined, but there's a lot of hiccups along the way with like how the codes have to be managed for the templates and stuff. So that's taking me a bit more time. That's why I just don't have the time to do the ads for my BNI group to put together our own card. So I need to focus. I need to get clear on that. As you can tell, when I have my like 9x12, when I have like my goal for that, my like, sell out in a month, then like I have a singular focus and I can do it and I can knock stuff out. But when I have a break from it, like I have the last couple weeks, my mind just goes off in all these different directions. So there's going to be a short video. I'm just going to post this one out there because I realize I haven't posted much in a couple weeks, or probably a week or two. And I wanted to let everybody know where I was at, what my plan is. But the plan is to start working on my next card, my next quarterly card, to go out late August. I saw Jake's live video yesterday, had a bunch of great tips that I need to embody myself and focus on myself, and stop chasing all these different shiny objects and just focus. But I do think the podcast will be a good opportunity, especially since I can work with somebody that already has a bunch of video editing skills. He has all the microphone. He has a whole studio set up in his mortgage business for everything he does. He already has like 4,000 something followers on Instagram. So it's a great networking opportunity for me too, to get some of the people he has in his orbit introduced to me. I figured it'll be like a Made in Miami kind of podcast, sponsored by Dade Local. So I get a lot of credibility from that. I can send links out to that. I can do a lot of stuff with that. So, and that won't take me too much time because I'll be partnering with somebody else on that. That's the name of the game in this, collaborating with people, not competition. I had a great conversation with Rich Messina this past week, all about that concept that he told me about. Collaboration is much better than in competition with other people. So finding ways to work together, we talked for a long time about finding ways that we can work together. He's up in the Northeast looking to do a card himself, but he also wants to, you know, kind of get into a community with a bunch of other people, which is a great thing to do. This business can be kind of lonely. That's one of the reasons why I've had a YouTube channel based on these things ever since my first one. I had it just under my personal name, but it gives me a way to feel connected as I'm going through this whole process. So connecting with other people, if you're not part of a community and you're doing this 9x12 thing, definitely get into a community. To start with, there's Mitch's 9x12 community on Skool, SKOOL. It's the 9x12 side hustle business community, something like that. Just search 9x12 on Skool and you'll find it. Join it there. It's like, I think, $100 for the whole year, and he has courses. He has a great community, over like 2,000 people in there. If you want to level it up a bit, you can join Jake Lorraine's High Response Marketing Elite Group. I'll have links for both of these in the description below. But his is like $44 a month, but you get like so many amazing courses that he's built over the past like 10 to 12 years, and a community of really high level people that are doing this across the country and having massive success. And you get tapped into those communities for not much money, and you'll have people that you can run any questions you have ever by them, people doing it across the country, sharing their information, their stories. So if you're just finding my videos on here and you want to be in a community doing it, join those two, at least one, just to get started, having a community of people to run your ideas off of and see other people's ideas besides just mine. So I'll have links for both of those. You can check them out in the description. Until then, I will have some dinner with my family, and I'll be recording more videos soon as I build out this quarterly program that I'm aiming to do to continue building off this 9x12 success. So thank you so much. Give me a like and a subscribe if you'd like to, and I will keep sharing all of my journey as much as I can with you so that I can be of assistance. If you have any questions, want anything to know, just hit in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer anything you got. All right, till then, take care, everybody.